there is an event this weekend in Grand Rapids that will feature masks and music. It's the Masquerade Ball benefiting friends and family of cystic fibrosis.
Community Affairs Director Casey Jones introduces us to one young man who will be there with a renewed hope.
Hope is what they run on at Friends and Families of Cystic Fibrosis. It's what the nonprofit delivers to hundreds of families impacted by the disease. I got involved with them about a decade ago. It's where I met the gentleman we'll introduce you to next. And for the longest time, even I was unsure whether or not he lived with CF. Brandon Erhart hasn't always played the long game. It's not that he couldn't.
Oh, I got all of that.
It's just most of his life.
I had to look in that mortality mirror pretty early.
It wasn't an option.
You'd start to wrestle with what mortality means and just the longevity, the long term. What does it mean to be me?
Part of that me for Erhart was cystic fibrosis. He was born with the degenerative genetic disorder that causes the lungs and digestive tract to fill with mucus. Born with a disease that has no cure.
Statistically speaking, when I graduated high school, life expectancy was 26 back in 2008. So that put me at less than a decade. There was a lot of coughing. It was sleepless nights because I couldn't breathe. It was a cold that should have lasted a week, turned into a month and a half, and maybe someone was hospitalized. You know, it was dietary stuff. Like a big component of CF is dietary, digestive, so trouble with weight gain.
It was the weight of the disease that pushed Erhart to outwardly defy its implications. From the 6th grade, he vowed to not let it define him, not let it limit him or be his identity, to not let it win.
Forever, the story about my disease was something I wanted to keep kind of concealed. I just didn't want the attention. Yeah. And I didn't want to be treated differently. I didn't want people to give me like the benefit of the doubt. Like, I wanted to earn it.
Despite that outwardly distance, CF was shaping him. Life was a short game, one to fill with gratitude and appreciation of experience over material.
And Brandon is the 2-year-old we have with us, and he, of course, is one of the reasons for the fundraising we do for CF.
From TV to quiet advocacy, Erhart wove himself into the CF community, active with the CF Foundation and Friends and Family of Cystic Fibrosis.
I always felt like I had some certainty because I was a little bit above the expectation. I was a little bit above the expected healthcare like trajectory of somebody with cystic fibrosis. But even still, there was that element of like uncertainty. There was that element of unknown because I didn't know how it was going to progress.
And then in 2020, Erhart says a miracle. An FDA-approved, first-of-its-kind CF medicine, Trikafta.
I was a little reluctant to get on it, to be honest with you. I had been in drug trials for years. And I remember one of my physicians came in and he's like, yeah, but what if you could freeze where you're at right now? What if you could freeze your health status right now and lock that in? Because the thing with CF is that it was degenerative, right? As soon as I got on that drug, I mean, it was a week. I'll never forget this. I was getting in my car and I yawned just like that. And that sense of relief that you get, you know, when you like successfully yawn, like I felt that for probably the first time in a long time.
And it's the drug 33-year-old Erhart credits with filling that outwardly gap he once put between him and his disease, giving this short game expert a chance to play the long game.
There's another good friend of mine, he and his wife, they've got little kids, and their son, who I think is 7, has cystic fibrosis too, and he just has started to get onto these modulators. At 7, right? I had to wait till I was 30. And so when you think about the long game, their long game that they're playing with a 7-year-old is tangibly different than the long game that I was playing at 7. Like, I was hoping to get to high school, or maybe even into college. The life expectancy of people with the disease now is 40 years older than what it was when I graduated high school. And so to be able to tell the story now and to attach it to this miracle drug that's having an impact on so many people, people that now have longevity, patients that get a chance to get married, they get a chance to buy a house, they get a chance to have kids, right? We were just talking about our friend who also has CF. She just had a baby. There's hope there. There's hope behind that.
The drug is remarkable, but it's not for everyone who has cystic fibrosis. There's about 10% of CF patients and those who have already received a lung transplant that aren't eligible to use it. Now, as we mentioned, Erhart is involved with groups like Friends and Families of Cystic Fibrosis, and this weekend he'll be at the FFCF event, the Masquerade Ball. That's tomorrow night at Thousand Oaks. You can learn more about attending or supporting inside of this story at woodtv.com. I'm Casey Jones, connecting with community.